Good evening and welcome to JJ Wins in Holiday City as we bring you another installment of Sports Weekly powered by Terry Hendricks Ford. As we said, brought to you by JJ Wins, Bryan Parks and Recreation Department, Fackler Monument Company, and the main stops of Northwest Ohio. Good show on tap for tonight. We're going to talk playoff football with head coach of the Antwerp Archers, Jason Hale. He has come back and they're getting ready for their first ever regional final appearance coming up this weekend. First, though, we're now sliding into our winter sports guests and talk a little Edgerton girls basketball with head coach Marchetta Caryer. Season number 2 here, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Thanks for being here. You're breaking the seal for girls basketball coaches. You're the first one on this year, so
that's exciting.
High standards here to
yeah.
Everybody else has to live up to. So I gotta believe this is an obvious question, but I want to lead with this. When we sat here, probably pretty close to this time a year ago, you're getting ready for your opener. You're a first-year head varsity coach. You've been a varsity coach in softball, though, obviously, but now taking over basketball. I got to believe you and the team and the program, everybody in a better place because comfort level is so much better and higher now here into year 2. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's really fair to say. I actually just told the girls the other day we're a few steps ahead this year compared to where we were last year, and that just speaks volumes to them on the time they've put in the off season. So as a coach, it's exciting to see that we've at least taken some steps forward, just even like practice-wise, scrimmage-wise. So that's exciting to see. Didn't
have, the win-loss record that you wanted last year, but I know from seeing you early in the year to later in the year, there was very, very noticeable improvement. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Definitely. My goal coming in that first year was just teaching the girls to play hard. That was our number one goal because I watched them throughout the years. I keep in contact, watch my softball players, and like I knew coming in that they didn't necessarily play as hard as they should have been. So that was my goal, and that was our main focus to start with, and then to get in to being fundamentally sound and doing all those things. And definitely from day one till day whatever at the end, huge improvement with these kids, and they worked hard every day. They never let up, and they continued to want to get better, and it showed towards the end of the season.
You did lose a few kids from last year's team.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about the off-season work that was put in by the kids coming back, because that's where it begins. You have to work on it in the off-season.
Definitely. This group is really dedicated. We actually this year we started a 10,000 shot club, and we had 8 of our 17 kids make it, and then we had 4 elementary kids make it. So that's a step forward in the right direction. And then none of our kids missed anything throughout the summer.
Oh, wow.
I was going to give them the last 3 weeks off in July just to kind of gear in for fall sports and that. And they're like, Coach, we want to come in. And so as a coach, can't tell them no. And we opened the gym those last 3 weeks, and they came in, they worked hard, and everybody was there all through the summer. And, hopefully their hard work's going to show and pay off for them this winter.
Where are you seeing, you saw those seeds start to be planted in the summertime. Where did you see the growth then, and where are you seeing it now? What areas on the floor with this group?
Team chemistry, that's come a long way. We're going to be young, so just filtering the young kids in with some of our experience has been fun to watch, and our experienced kids being leaders to our younger kids, that's been huge. That's been a huge difference for us, and just they're playing well together. They communicate. They're starting to do the little things that win you ball games. So we're getting there. We're taking the steps in the right direction.
Marchetta, what's the roster, at least as the varsity is concerned with this question, what's the roster breakdown in terms of classes? You have a pretty good mix of seniors, juniors. I know there's some freshmen, sophomores.
We've got 6 seniors, 2 juniors, got 1 sophomore up, and then 2 freshmen up. So we'll be all right.
And it's always with that when you do play freshmen.
Yeah.
Whatever the sport is, you got to have the kids, the older kids, buy in a little bit and kind of throw their arms around them and accept them. Has that been the case with this group?
Absolutely. I'm telling you, I've coached for a lot of years, and my older kids have really taken the grasp on just being leaders and putting their arms around these younger kids. They know they're capable of playing with them. They're just they're a great group of kids to have your first year 1 and 2. Like they're great kids, and they're great leaders.
So, and you know, they have to see that the girls, whether they're the 2 freshmen or the sophomore, they have to see that, all right, this is merited. They belong up here. Yeah. And I think that makes it a lot easier, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, the 2 freshmen are holding their own. Our sophomores holding their own. And, you know, the juniors, seniors, they're all holding their own. But, you know, the 2 freshmen, it's no secret, give us a little bit more ball handling. We struggled with that a little bit last year. We turned the ball over a lot. We didn't have necessarily the strongest ball handling. Taylor's my point guard. But now she's been able, you know, just in scrimmages, like she's been able to relax a little bit because she has some extra ball handlers around her. And, you know, I think that's going to be a big difference for us this year, too.
What's the overall numbers like in the program? Talking about the high school level, what are the overall numbers like?
We have 18. We have 17, like, Edgerton kids, and then we have an exchange student, so she makes our 18. So we have 18 out, so pretty good numbers. So
yeah,
no reason to complain.
That's good to work with.
Yeah.
So as you look at what you've done so far in scrimmages, who have you played in scrimmages? What have you seen? And I guess style-wise, and where have you excelled and where have you struggled a little bit in here in the preseason?
We've played Patrick Henry, Toledo Bowser, Lincoln View, Salina, and Continental. And, you know, there's times we look really, really good, and there's times that we've struggled. The one thing I've noticed the most, and like that we've handled the pressure a lot better than in the past, like last year. That's been a huge improvement for us, and hopefully we continue to improve on that. And just seeing the floor. Like, I think sometimes we struggle to see the floor. Like now, like this year, it's like teaching them to look up the floor, see the open person. So they've gotten better in that. You know, our weaknesses, like, we have a lot, and, you know, there's always weaknesses, always room to improve on everything. So, you know, we work on that stuff in practice.
Are you seeing, we mentioned the comfort level in your system now. Is it at a point now where everything that your expectations and your style of coaching and their ability to receive that, is it all second nature now?
I think it's getting there, yeah. Like, you know, the girls know what I expect out of them. They come in every day working hard. They know we're not just going to go through the motions. They know I'm not that coach. And it helps that half of them are my softball players, too. So I've got that relationship with them there, too. So it's been a good experience. Like, I don't ever come in thinking, what am I going to do with this team today? Like, I've been really proud of them, their work ethic, and, like, they're doing the right things, and hopefully we can put it all together for them.
You know this, being a successful coach in softball and doing good things in basketball at different levels. That trust factor has to be there between players and coaches and everything. They got to trust and believe in what you're doing, and you have to get them to buy into what your vision is as well. I mean, that's just so huge, isn't it?
It's probably the biggest part of the game in coaching. You've got to have trust in your players. You've got to have trust in the coaching staff. You've got to have trust in your teammates. And I think if you can conquer that, then everything else becomes pretty easy. And I think we've established that, and we've conquered it. And, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, you give the kids respect, you get the respect back. Are
roles still being defined and determined right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We just had team meetings last week, I think, and, you know, we pulled each kid in. We let them know what their role was. We asked them what they thought their role was, and I think with the coaching staff and the players, we were all pretty much on the same page. So that says a lot, too. Like, these kids know, like, the expectations, again, like what they're expected to do when they're in or when they're on the bench. Like, we talk a lot about, if you're on the bench, being a great bench player. Like, I mean, your bench, I think, and I'm a true believer, your bench is your most important part of your team. Like, they've got to be in the game. They've got to be your biggest cheerleaders. And so we're trying to instill that into them. We still are working on that part, but it's getting better.
Is this a competitive group?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, they're hungry. You know, they had, you know, we have, I think, half of my basketball team's a volleyball team. They had a great year in volleyball, so we're hoping that
matters.
I'm a firm believer that matters, and hopefully that carries over into us. Now, basketball is a little different sport, but, you know, they learned how to win in volleyball. They know how to win in softball, and we're trying to gain that ground in basketball right now, and I think we're getting there.
And basketball, you've been in that community long enough to know. Yeah. I mean, first of all, Edgerton supports any and all athletics extremely well. No question about that. It is a basketball
It's
town.
a basketball community.
And they've been waiting on, I mean, it's been a while since the girls have been really good.
It's been a long time. I think since Coach Steele left, I think that's probably the last time they've had the most success. You know, and so it's been a long time coming, and hopefully I'm getting the girls in the right direction. That's been my focus, and, you know, we're taking steps forward. You know, so I think we're going the right way. So we're getting there. You know, it was a program that was really broken when I stepped into it, and, you know, it wasn't going to be rebuilt overnight. It's going to take some time, but we've worked hard. We put time in, and we're taking steps forward.
What does, in your opinion, and again, this is all on paper, but thinking about what teams and what players are coming back, what's the GMC look like to you?
GMC is always tough. I mean, you never go into any game thinking you're winning every game. I mean, you never know who's going to show up. Everybody's so competitive. Everybody's loaded. Like, I mean, I don't know if anybody lost really anybody. So most everybody has everybody coming back. But you got to go in hoping you play your best ball and, you know, and be competitive. But GMC, I'm not singling anybody out, but it's going to be tough.
Fairview was the first name that came to mind as maybe the favorite,
of
just
course.
Based on what they do have back. And I was sitting here thinking, is Andrew Thiel the only new coach this year at Tenora? There were no other changes. Trace,
I think so. I think that might be the only change. Yeah.
So now you got some, and you'll find out more about him as the season goes on at Tenora. But familiarity now, where you have a lot of the same faces that are doing what they want to do with their programs.
Yeah, definitely. Last year you come in, it's kind of like you're blind to it, you know, because I had been out of it for so long. But this year coming in, you kind of have a better feel of who's got what, you know, who's their better players, who does this, like what do they run, you know, do this. And so I think I'm a little more comfortable this year going in, especially doing scouting and that. So I think I'm a lot more comfortable this year than last.
You come right out of the gates flying, double weekend here to start, right? Tell us who you got this weekend.
Yeah, we open up with Holgate on Friday, and then we turn around and play Pettysville on Saturday.
And Holgate, of course, a former GMC opponent.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they had back, even coming back.
They lost 3, and they lost Ice Girl. Like that was probably their biggest loss. And then they have about everybody else around.
And Pettysville was extremely young last year, if I remember right.
Yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be quick, you know. So, you know, we're just trying to get the girls focused for Friday, and then hopefully we can get something good out of that, and then we'll turn our attention to Saturday.
So, excuse me, those are a couple of non-conference games. We're going to see you on that first weekend of December against Archibald. That's a great game for Edgerton as well to play the build. You knocked them off last year. That's some other thing too. Edgerton usually likes to try to, whether it's boys or girls basketball, like to try to find some opponents and go play, because the goal, where are you at in February and March?
Yeah, our schedule it's tough. Like, we don't have anybody on our schedule that is like a weak opponent. And there's a reason for that. Like, some coaches would disagree with that, but I'm a firm believer you play the tough teams that get you ready for down the road, and our schedule definitely prepares us for that.
Do you have, and I know they're just getting started as well, but this is more of a numbers question, junior high, are the numbers, you mentioned that what's at the high school level, what's at the junior high level numbers?
I think we have 9 8th graders and 7th graders, so not bad compared to talking to some of the other coaches. Like, some of them are going to only be able to have like one team down below, so I'm not going to complain right now.
No, that's a tough situation. It's going to hit. I feel like it hits every school at some point in time or another. It's just, you're in a good position right now, so you take it and run with it. Well, we wish you the best of luck this weekend and throughout this season. Look forward to seeing Edgerton, as we said, for the first time against Archibald, and many other times this year. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me, Andy.
Edgerton girls basketball coach Marchetta Caryer, our first guest tonight. We're going to flip the script and talk high school football, playoff football with Antwerp head coach Jason Hale. That's coming up next here on Sports Weekly.
When it comes to choosing a memorial that represents the lasting memories of a person's life, the Fackler Monument Company in Montpelier, Ohio can create exactly what you are looking for. Like an eagle soaring through the woods etched on a memorial. A bench that has mom and dad's names engraved into the granite to sit and reflect. A picture of the family farm etched on the stone. Or maybe your style is a memorial that has a split headstone with a vase in between for flowers. The Fackler Monument Company of Montpelier, Ohio, serving families in the tri-state area since 1924.
I want to talk to you for the next 30 seconds about the place to go for your next vehicle. Terry Hendricks Ford on Stryker Street in Archibald. Whether it's a new vehicle for purchase, a lease vehicle, or perhaps a pre-owned vehicle, Terry Hendricks Ford on Stryker Street in Archibald is the place to turn. They also have this fantastic service department as well. Service after the sale. Terry Hendricks Ford, serving all of your vehicle needs in Northwest Ohio. Go to terryhendricksford.com.
It's Thirsty Thursday at all the main stops in Northwest Ohio. What does that mean? It means that every Thursday, all day long, you will get any size fountain drink or any size coffee for only 79 cents. All day long, every Thursday, any size fountain drink, any size coffee or cappuccino. Stop in to your main stop and see everything they have to offer every day. Main Stops, always there when you need us.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Here's your updated B-Rock 100.9 forecast. Chance of scattered snow showers tonight, otherwise overcast skies. Lows level off around 28, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Highs around 35 tomorrow, overcast skies. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 23. Dry with temps well below average Friday and Saturday, and highs in the upper 20s. A dusting of snow tonight. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Tremblay. Currently, it's 33 degrees.
Welcome back to Sports Weekly, driven by Terry Hendricks Ford. We're here at JJ Wins. We do have a show the night before Thanksgiving. We understand if you're planning on coming, it's pretty much already a full house. The extra room's going to be opened up next Wednesday night. There's going to be live entertainment next week. There's going to be live entertainment on the show because we've got a pair of girls coaches, Montpelier head girls basketball coach Mike Bum and Eden girls coach Kayla Walker, our guests next Wednesday night. We're happy to still be talking football with somebody right now. I got to introduce you officially as the Antwerp head football coach, but I think unofficially the mayor of Antwerp. I think you could run, and I don't know who the mayor is right now, but if there was an election right now, which, by the way, we're glad that's over, but you would run and win in a landslide, Jason Hale.
Maybe. I mean, there still might be a little bit of backlash there, but, you know, it's been a great run so far, great support by our community, and it's a great place to be, coach, and a great program, you know, to be around. And Antwerp, I love being there, and I love being around our guys.
Congrats on this run. Best season. I mean, there are so many accolades that are being broken, and you'll have plenty of time to look back and soak all that in. You're still in the moment right now, but what has it been like? We had you on early in the regular season. The rest of the regular season and everything that you've accomplished with the GMC and the most wins and the unbeaten season and now the deepest run in school history, can you kind of let us know what that's been like from a coaching and from a program perspective, I guess? Well,
first and foremost, I'm just happy for our guys, man. They put the time in. You know, we started back in June, that first off-season workout. They put the time in, you know, and what a lot of people don't realize is we lost 14 seniors off last year's team. You know, and so there's a little bit of uncertainty coming into this year. You lose 14 seniors off a 9-3 team that made the playoffs, played 2 games. That's a big deal, you know. But we've had our 2 seniors step up, and Kendrick and Parker, and then our juniors and Landon and Carson and Reed and Cam and Cyrus, and the list just goes on and on. You know, we got a big junior group, but those guys have stepped up and made plays. And I think the biggest thing is our guys show up every day ready to work, man. It's, you know, it's crazy. I've never had a group like this. We come to practice this week. We've had the best week we've had all year, you know, and we're in week 14. It's crazy. Like, they just come ready to practice, ready to go. That's a testament to them that they want to get better every day and keep this thing going. So, you know, it's been something special. I think, you know, just being around this group. These guys play for each other. You know, they've been around each other for so long, playing minis and now going, you know, varsity football, and to have the chance just to coach them every day, be around them. You know, I'm living my best life, man. They're fun to be around. You know, they come to practice every day, put the work in. It makes my job easy.
Jason, I hear you describe this team. I hear you didn't say the words, but the first words that are popping in my head: maturity and competitors, and they just they want to continue to, I don't know if prove people wrong, but I'm sure there were a lot of people that thought you weren't going to go this deep, for certainly when you lose 14 kids from last year's really good team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think the biggest thing is, you know, we've been tested in the playoffs all 3 rounds, you know, and that's we've played some great teams, and our guys have not batted an eye. They've stepped up. There's been no panic at all. Obviously versus Delphus Jefferson, we win that, get the fumble out, we go down, score for 2. When your quarterback tells you he wants the ball, you give him the ball, and he goes scores, and the guys trust each other, and they know what they're doing. We're prepared first and foremost. My staff does a great job. I have the best coaching staff in the GMC. The guys show up. We come together on Sundays. We put a plan together. We go out and execute through the week, and our guys prepare and are ready to go. So shout out to my coaches, shout out to our players. They're always ready to go. They always want to get better, and so far so good. So we need another great week this week as we get ready to go for LCC on Saturday.
All right, want to focus on this postseason run because, as you mentioned, there have been a couple of heart stoppers in there as well, and a couple of times that some people may have had you left for dead. Take us back to that game. First of all, I want to ask you, no decision right whatsoever. Did I read that right? You were going for 2 all the way when you had that chance at the end against Jefferson.
Yeah, well, obviously, they get it's third and 8, and they get a first down, no timeouts. We don't have any timeouts. So they don't take a knee, so we know we got a chance. And Caden Winslow, who's a sophomore, comes up, makes a big stick, forces the ball out, and our Carson comes from the other side, opposite side of the field, and hops on the ball. So we get the ball back. We got to go 50 yards in about 2 minutes, minute 50, and no timeouts, and we executed perfectly. And as soon as we scored, I knew we were going for 2, and obviously the 2-point conversion. Carson put his head down, ran hard, got a block from Reed Leasey, and we got in the end zone, so we went for 2. And then obviously our defense held, so. Sometimes in a great run like this, you got to get lucky, man. It's all about luck sometimes, and we've been lucky, but luck favors the prepared, and we're prepared. We know what we're going to see. We know what we're going to do. So we get that win. And then obviously last week versus a very, very, very good Gibsonburg team. Connor Smith, their running back, 7,000-plus yards in his career. The dude he is the real deal. I mean, one of the best running backs I've ever seen, played against. But, our guys came – we were a little, we challenged our defense, and they showed up last week. Now, yeah, he still got his yards, but we didn't let anybody else beat us, and we hit them, man. Our guys, our defense showed up. They played physical. They played great team football, and we got to stop when it mattered. And then obviously going down, Carson comes back in. Our offensive line played a heck of a game on all phases of the game. We protected. Carson throws it up to Landon. Landon makes a great catch, and then we go score to Parker on the next play. So. These guys do a great job of just playing for each other, trusting each other, and that's what special teams do. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the whole team, and these guys embody that. They embody this community that we're a part of, and it's been a great run, and it's great to be part of.
You hear about at all levels how 2-minute or game-winning drives are executed, and you already mentioned that word. It starts with how you prepare and then your expectation on how you're going to finish these drives, and that's why teams are successful.
Yeah, absolutely. We not only do we do it every Friday now, the practice before the game. We do it at the end of practice every week. We do it on Tuesdays through practice. There's a reason you do that stuff, so that you're prepared, and our guys know that, and we've done it for 14 weeks now, and they go out and execute. So obviously, them understanding the situation, we don't have any timeouts. As soon as we completed that pass and got another one in, I didn't have to yell anything. Our guys were we had to spike it. So we have a very high IQ football team, and that makes my job as a coach much easier when you can just give your game plan to your guys. They know what they're doing. They're prepared. So it's not only the coaches being prepared. Our guys do a great job being prepared, executing our game plan, and going out and showing that on the field.
Talking with Antwerp head coach Jason Hale. Now, you mentioned Carson Aldemus. He was dinged up last week, came back in after leaving and finished the game and led you to a win. How is he as you get ready for Saturday night?
Yeah, he's doing good. We're getting better each day, and we expect him to be ready to go on Saturday, and obviously that's a big boost for us. But, we got some other guys that are ready to go, what we need, and it's all about this time of year. Injuries are part of football, and it's how you best manage them, how you best prepare them. And
no team's healthy right now.
Right, yeah. You play this long, man. You get to the final. You get to this point in the regional final. Everybody's banged up, so it's how you manage it. And I think we've done a great job. Our guys have done a great job with 3 days of practice so far. Obviously, you get to this type of weather, and it's a little bit different. But anytime you're playing football, almost to Thanksgiving, that's a big deal, man. So we're excited. We're just excited to keep practicing, keep showing up, and getting better. So our guys enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's like being at Christmas, man. You get the chance to go play in the regional final. And what I don't think people realize is this is our third regional final: baseball, basketball, and now football. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot of times, and it shows you how special these guys are, because they're prepared, because they show up and ready to work, and they're great leaders and they're great young men first and foremost. So that's a big deal.
You know, these are there's been a lot of good teams in a lot of sports at Antwerp, but this core group that's kind of seen through what you just mentioned, boy, this is kind of a golden era of Antwerp sports right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've had a great run, obviously, last year with basketball, and, you know, we went 9-3 last year in football, too, so that's a big deal. But I think what the most important thing is, we kind of talked about as a coaching staff today, is our younger guys right now, our freshmen and sophomore, are getting to play extra football. That's only going to help us, you know, continue to build the program. They're teaching, our upperclassmen are teaching the younger guys how to come to practice every day and prepare, you know. So not only are we're having a great run, but they're continuing to build this program the right way, do things the right way, and they do a great job with that every day, showing up and be ready to work.
Listen, you don't have, and this is a question I wanted to have you talk a little bit more about. You don't have the kind of year that you're having, perfect season, playing for a chance to go to the Final Four. You need everybody to show up at different times during the season. Your stars, quote-unquote stars, have been there game in and game out. But talk about those kids that have had big roles for you and shining moments of their own and have helped you. I don't know if necessarily, and maybe in the playoffs, but certainly in the regular season too.
I can go on and on, but obviously, you know, and what people don't realize about last week, we lose our starting offensive lineman, Austin Miller, the first play of the game when he was playing defense. You know, got taken out. So we had Zane Wolf, our backup center and backup guard, did a great job coming in, and we didn't miss a beat. So, you know, we rep those guys in practice. You know, they got to be prepared, and they do that. And when you're able to get those reps in practice, they're able to come in, and you're able not to miss a beat, and those guys do a great job with that. So, again, it's a testament to our coaches for having those guys ready, you know, and getting those guys reps, because we know that everybody matters. And that's the thing we've been talking about. It doesn't matter if you're on scout team at this point, if you're a varsity starter or one or two. Everybody matters. We need everybody at this point, you know, to give us a look on scout team, whether you're a varsity one offense, varsity one defense, or whatever case it may be. Everybody plays a big role in this run, and it's been great to see.
So I've heard rumblings that the Antwerp community is mildly supportive during runs. That's safe to say. Talk about what it's been like in the community during this entire season, really.
It's been tremendous. You know, it's a great place to coach. It's a great place to live. You know, and you know, our kids are a direct reflection of their parents and the great community members they are. The support we receive. You know, last week looking in the Liberty Center after the game, the stands, that place was packed. You know, and you know, I've had former players reach out to me. You know, guys that have played before and just texting us good luck and things like that. So, you know, our guys, I don't know if it's really set in yet. You know, it kind of really hasn't set into me, but you know, we're playing in this run right now. But you know, obviously we represent a lot more than just the football team. We represent the whole town of Antwerp, who is nothing but been very supportive, and we appreciate them so much. And it makes games fun, man. When you got guys there when you got people there to watch you and support you like we've had, it just makes things that much easier and feels like a home game. And that's what we're gonna need again this weekend.
All right, I want to ask you now. You said scouting. Let's talk scouting report. I saw this LCC team last year when they eliminated Eden in the postseason. Tell me about that team. Did they have a lot of kids back from last year to this year? What do they like to do? Is it basically the same as what I saw last year? Tell us everything about LCC.
Yeah, you know, they're obviously a good football team, battle tested. They've been here before, but you know, they want to spread you out a little bit, run the ball with their quarterback's a great athlete. They get downhill. They got some big guys up front. They're pretty physical on the offensive line. Defensively, they're big up front as well. You know, they fly to the football, so we're going to need to execute. You know, in a game at this point, when you get into this time of the year, details matter. You know, that's what we've been harping on our kids. It's all about the details. Your first step, your reaction to the block, your reaction to the route, things like that. So, you know, you gotta build all those little things up, play after play after play after play, because they're a great team. They got some athletes, you know, on offense and defense, but you know, you get this time of year, everybody's good too. So we're a good team too. So they obviously got to match us as well. So it's going to be a chess match, and you know, you got to try to put some pieces in and adjust accordingly, and we'll, you know, go with the ebb and flow of the game, and we'll be good to go. So we're excited.
Great facility you get to play.
Yeah. That's a staple where you get to go down there and play at Donnell Stadium, and you know, we're excited to go down there and represent Antwerp and have a chance to go to the state semifinals, which is crazy to think about. But like I said, it's a direct result of our guys' hard work, them showing up, putting the time in, and being ready to go.
So I hear, and I'll let you talk more about it, there's an event going on in the community tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're thankfully, shout out to Jacob's Meats. They're gonna feed us at the Oasis there in town, and then from 6:45 to 8 o'clock, we're gonna do a little bit of kind of meet and greet. Any of the community members want to come up, get a shirt signed by our players, hat signed, and they can do that. Because obviously you remember as a little kid. I remember when I was a little kid looking up at those varsity players, and it's a good chance for us to give back to the community that supported us. Because right now our guys are making memories and making a ton of impressions on these little kids that are going to be the future of our program. Not only in football, but in basketball or softball or baseball or whatever. These guys are an example of what little kids want to be when they get older. So the chance for us to do that and give back is a great thing, and I'm super excited for that and looking forward to tomorrow night.
And the community hopes that Doug Billman has an empty gym for at least another 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, Coach Billman's been great in this support as well. But obviously he had a great basketball run and prolonged baseball, so it's kind of fun to return the favor to him a little bit, and obviously he's been very supportive, and they started practice, but he's the first one on the sideline that we see and talk to, and he's been great for me to bounce ideas off of this week when you make a run and things like that. So what's great is everybody supports every program. That's a big thing. All these guys are multi-sport athletes. Everybody's playing basketball, everybody's playing baseball, track and field,
and that
football.
matters.
It absolutely matters. It absolutely matters. These guys aren't just specialized on one sport. They're doing football, they're doing basketball, they're doing track, they're doing baseball. They're in the weight room in the summer. I can't tell you. It's crazy, and it's a shout out to our guys. Their schedule in the summer is just crazy, But they come in, they lift, they go to basketball, then they go to baseball, and then we got football stuff as well. So our athletic department does a great job. We meet and figure out what all our summer schedule is going to be, and
I just
everybody works together.
Kudos to you for doing that, because you and I both probably know examples of school districts that doesn't happen. It's more of, I want my athletes, and this is my sport. Yeah. If you don't work together, this kind of thing doesn't happen. Yeah,
absolutely. Success breeds success. I've said it all year, and those guys making that run in baseball, those guys making that run in basketball, it directly transfers what we're doing now, because they've been in the experience. The moment's not too big. They understand what's at stake, and Saturday's a big game because it's the next one on our schedule. And that's the thing we've been approaching all week and talking about all year. It's the next one's the one that matters. You got to take it one game at a time, and our guys will be ready.
Anything else? Anything you want to make mention of Antwerp community-wise? Did I not ask you something you wanted listeners to know about Antwerp football-wise? We're just excited for the chance on Saturday. Anybody in Antwerp, if you obviously can't make the game, they're streaming the game on the Ohio High School Athletic Association network. So tune into that. We know we'll have support with people back there as well. So, and we can feel that energy. We need everybody there on Saturday ready to go. Best of luck against Lima Central Catholic. Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to come visit with us during this week leading up to the first ever regional final in school history. Good luck to you. Thanks, appreciate it. Jason Hale, head coach of the Antwerp Archers, who are getting ready to play Lima Central Catholic Saturday night at 7. Liberty Center plays Friday as well, and that's another great thing for communities too as well. You get so many of them supporting each other. Next week, it's all about girls basketball with head coach at Montpelier, Mike Bum, and Eden girls basketball coach Kayla Walker. Sports Weekly this week brought to you by Terry Hendricks Ford, JJ Wins, Bryan Parks and Rec Department, Fackler Monument Company, and the main stops of Northwest Ohio.